What's happening, lightsaber radio fans and fellow travelers of the cosmos? I'm thrilled to welcome you to a spectacular voyage on lightsaber radio because today we're igniting our lightsabers of discussion and embarking on an unforgettable journey through the stars. Get ready for a thrilling debate as me and Garrison talk about the top 10 Star Wars TV series. Hit the button, Garrison froze on me. Shit. All right, hold up.
Whoa, I'm so frozen.
Intro.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now lightsaber radio. If you only knew the power of gods.
Here it comes.
Let's go.
You are now tuned in to lightsaber radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Okay, so Garrison is out at the moment. He got to fix his computer, but he'll be back in a second. His internet sucks where he lives. I don't know why. Like, he lives in Phoenix, Arizona. You'd think they'd have good internet, but their internet sucks. It almost sucks as bad as mine. But it's okay because today we're going to be talking about our top 10 Star Wars picks, me and Garrison. And I know our opinions are going to vary and it's going to spark a little bit of a debate, some arguing here because our tastes are different. You know, what he thinks is great, I think is and what he thinks is I think is great. So we're definitely going to be going back and forth today. But we are going to break down what each of our 10 number one TV series is from 10 to 1. We're going to go through them all. And, you know, it's kind of hard because there's not that many TV series out there. And we are combining animation with live action. So it's all of them together because that's the only way we was going to get 10 because there's not 10 TV series live action out. So we had to, but I mean, in all honesty, I like some of the animated series more than I like some of the live action. So we are definitely going to go through this. It's going to be a lot of fun if I can get Garrison back on here. So I guess what we could do is we could start with the Housebreaker. I'll just come up with a Housebreaker until Garrison gets back, and then everybody in the comments can just comment and tell me what they think. What's going on, Star Wars team leader? What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Darth Akari, Clint? Glad to see you guys all in the chat. And we will definitely get to this. But so first, let's just go ahead on and get to the Housebreaker. Okay, so today's Housebreaker, let me see, what do I got here? If you guys could change one thing about the Ahsoka series, what would that be? I want your most outrageous answers. And I'll give you mine. I think if I could change one thing about the Ahsoka series, my number one thing is I'd have somebody other than Disney making it. But I would change. Oh, y'all already know what I would change. I would change the fact that fucking Ezra said that Sabine was like his sister. I would change that. You got to take that out. That's not the truth of the story. That didn't have anything to do with Rebels. That's bullshit. Yeah, the way Harold looks is another good one. Garrison's back. Is it working?
Jeez, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Damn, your fucking internet is just fucking terrible. Like you're like fucking talking like 3 minutes before your words come through.
God damn, bro. It's trash.
I don't know. I think it has a lot. I think
pull it up on.
I think it has a lot to do with your laptop too. Because I think your laptop.
No, I agree. Old. That's why I'm pulling out another one.
It's running on old technology. It's running on 1930s technology. before they even had fucking email. You had to upgrade it to get email or Wi-Fi. Let's see. What do we got here? Star Wars team leader said the way Hera looks, I agree. The map and Sabine being a Padawan, yep, that's definitely something I would change. Yeah, Darkscar, yeah, he's lagging bad, I know. He's trying to change it around. He's trying to jump onto another laptop. I know they don't like to spin anything up, but they need to speed up Ahsoka, the fight scenes. Clint says the fight scenes. Chris says, I would make Morgan look more like a nice sister. She looks like a normal human. Make her skin more gray and have her use more magic. That's some good things to change. That's definitely some. That just lets us know like how lacking the series is. That's really the fucking outcome of this question is like how much the series is lacking at this point. Oh man, there's a fan theory running around that fucking
Wait, so you're actually accepting that Ahsoka wasn't as good as everybody's saying?
No, I still liked it. I liked it.
Oh, okay. I did not.
I just think that there's some things that they could change. I think they could. There's always improvements they can make on everything. You can improve shit. Make it smaller.
You could improve shit.
So don't hurt my butt. You know what I'm saying?
Of course you could improve shit.
You know what I'm saying? You can improve anything. I'm not saying I still liked it. I liked the episode. The episodes they were cool.
Right.
There were some things that they could improve on. And hopefully they do within the next year. Because I'm telling you, just with other than the map part and the fucking Sabine shit, like why they make Sabine a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a Padawan when they could have just had a new character. Why just give us a new character? Like here, Ahsoka took on this random chick. Right. We got two new characters in Skull and his Padawan, so why can't we just get new characters with Ahsoka? Like why is Sabine? Then we could do like, but like the aesthetics of the show. The story it's not bad, it's just the fucking map thing just throws it all off. Like fucking like they could have explained it so much easier
it's
with
really bad.
Morgan with fucking Morgan uses her fucking force magic, fucking Night Sister magic to fucking find out Thrawn, and Ahsoka and them follow her to fucking get Ezra and find Thrawn. I mean, how fucking hard is that? That's not that hard. You didn't have to put a map in there. And
did you hear about the whole Sam Witwer thing?
Yeah, that they say Sam Witwer is Mort. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. It's definitely a fan theory. I don't know, man, because I don't know. Sam Witwer is just way too good with a lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? That dude didn't look that good. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Sam is
I think
getting
it was
old.
more because he was fighting Ahsoka, and Ahsoka could not keep up. Or Rosario Dawson could not keep up.
But I don't know. Because he does have a credit in the thing. If you go look at IMDb, there's a credit for Sam Witwer in there.
Right. I don't know how you bring in Starkiller. Like, he's too. Dude, Canon and Starkiller are very different. Like, Starkiller's like very strong compared to a lot of the other
Canon
characters.
and Leia meeting Obi-Wan is totally different, but they've managed to figure that one out. When she was
Disney.
10.
Yeah, I guess when Disney's involved, who gives a shit, right? Anything can happen. People come back from the dead in Disney. Somehow Palpatine returns.
Yeah, we might get that in the series too. Palpatine comes back again. And then Ahsoka kills him, and then he comes back again in episode 9. And Rey kills him. Like, this dude just can't die. Yeah, so there's definitely things they can improve on, but it's nothing that's, you know what I'm saying, it didn't make it that bad. Like, I still love the aesthetics. I still love the nostalgia. I still love the music. There was still so many good points that they had in it that the good outweighed the bad. but hopefully they get it better. Chris says, so if you go and watch the interview, Sam did say that him and Dave talked about bringing Starkiller into live action, but it wouldn't be the Starkiller that we know from the games.
Right.
I mean, they could bring.
It couldn't be.
I mean, they could do whatever the fuck.
It'd have to be a nerf.
But like, yeah, why didn't they bring Starkiller in and like Vader's dead. He don't know what he's fucking doing. You know what I'm saying? He's like stuck and he just hiding somewhere. And Ahsoka finds him and she takes him out on as the Padawan to teach him the light side the right way. Boom. What's going on, J-Dog? You got it right there. Then it's a new character because now he's learning all new shit. I mean, it's one thing just to go light side, but it's another thing to actually learn the light side. Yeah, I mean, they could do a lot of different things if they just. I mean, it just takes good storytelling, you know what I'm saying? Which is not known for Disney. Disney's not known for that. Disney is known for just fucking just give them something so they'll shut the fuck up, and then they give us something bad and we just talk more shit. And I guarantee some people are going to disagree with me and Garrison, and definitely put your comments in on me and Garrison when it comes to our top 10.
I'm like really confident in mine where like you could disagree, but you're an idiot if you do. I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck you. I guarantee I'm going to disagree with some of yours. All right.
I'm just kidding. I'm confident in my number one, though, which,
okay.
I mean, anybody who listens to the show could probably guess my number one, but we'll see.
All right. So I can pretty much guarantee what everybody's number 10 is. I want everybody in the chat. What is your number 10 Star Wars TV series? I want everybody to say it in the chat before we even go. I want to know what the chat thinks.
Book of Boba Fett.
How you gonna say yours before the chat does? I said everybody do before. Boba,
Chris said Boba. Yeah. Well, I still had an 11 too, but.
Well, you know, like fucking I had like 15, but I managed it down to 10 because there's some like the Ewok series. That shit was
I didn't even include the Ewok series.
I
included only shows that I've like actually watched.
Like the Freemaker, the Freemakers.
Yeah,
animes including Jason. Animes included. Like the Freemakers, the Lego Freemakers. I had that would have been my 11 because I kind of liked the Freemakers. It was a good little series. It just was it was really, really kiddie, so it was kind of hard to get into. But I liked it. Ask again. Number 10 of your top 10 favorite Star Wars TV series.
Resistance. I didn't even put that in my top 10. I haven't watched Resistance, so I feel like I couldn't like
smart it. I thought Resistance is better than Book of Boba Fett. I noticed something on your channel that I think needs to be amended. I love to chat with you. Oh, man, why are we getting all these damn fucking like
you can email
together?
Us.
Would you be willing to chat with me on Discord? My username is Sanwi.
Nah, you can email us or hit up any one of our social medias and message us there.
I couldn't watch Resistance. Didn't like the first couple episodes. Yeah, but Resistance was still better than fucking Book of Boba Fett.
No, movies don't count. Movies don't count.
Yeah, movies don't count. We're doing TV series. It's just the top 10 TV series.
I'll be right back.
Okay. My number 10 is the Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett is definitely my number 10. It's fucking terrible. That shit was just horrific. I mean, it's bad when they had to throw in 2 episodes that have nothing to do with fucking the character. Don't even have the character in it.
Right.
It was bad. They knew it was bad when they put it out. They just did it anyway.
Yeah. All right. So everyone agrees. Book of Boba Fett. It sounds like.
Yeah.
That's all.
Chris says the thing with Boba is that they took a badass character and completely castrated him and turned him into a bitch. Yes, you're completely and honestly right. You can't do that to the character. It's bad, you know. And it just it wasn't there wasn't enough about Boba Fett. The parts that was about Boba Fett were fucking terrible. It was just bad. I'm like, even like, and I watched Resistance twice just because, you know, I always watch everything 2 times just to double check to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, it's not just me and it's really crap. And I watched Resistance twice, and Resistance is really not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett, they just like literally what Christian said, they castrated him. They turned him into something that he's not. You know, he's teaming up with people. That's not what Boba Fett does. Boba Fett is a loner. That's what he does. He goes out there, he kicks ass, takes names, kicks some more ass, evaporates people, disintegrates, and that's what Boba Fett is. And they just completely killed him. It ruined the character as a fan favorite character. Nelson, what's up, fellas? Gonna listen as long as I can until we get to the river to take the kids fishing and swimming. All right, sir.
Nice.
Have fun. Yeah, that's a good day. I would say I was doing something like that today, but it's raining like a mug, which I don't mind the rain here because it's been 150 million degrees every day this week.
Bet.
All right. So, number 9. What you got?
Number 9, I had Obi-Wan. Dude, Obi-Wan just was not that good. And I know some people liked it, but dude, it totally fell short of what everyone was expecting, of what they advertised, ended up not even being about Obi-Wan. And then the thing that made it really annoying was that everybody who liked Obi-Wan got upset that we didn't like it and blamed us for like, oh, it's because you're racist. No, it had nothing to do with being racist. It just wasn't a good show.
I don't know who the hell said we was racist. It's kind of hard for me to be racist when, you know, I'm fucking
I know.
married to a black woman and all my kids
I
is
just
half
know
black.
that people were like, oh, if you didn't like the, what was her name in Obi-Wan? You know
Talking about Reva.
Yeah, Reva. If you didn't like Reva, it's because you're racist. You don't like black people.
Reva was dope.
No,
Reva was
that
a
had nothing
dope
to do with
character. Why did they make the whole
No,
series about her? It was
that's
supposed
what
to be
I'm
about
saying.
Obi-Wan.
If you want to make a series about Reva, like let me know. I'm watching a series about Reva. Don't just disregard the character that you were advertising on.
The
Don't
character
disregard
herself,
Obi-Wan.
that was
the
a
reason I
dope
was
character.
watching it.
It just
Plus
didn't make no
the-
sense because none of us knew who the hell Reva was. Like,
Yeah.
you just brought us a new character and made a whole series about and named it
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi when it was really about her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obi-Wan
My
was
number
mediocre.
9 was Resistance.
Lightsaber. Oh, I didn't even have Resistance, so I guess
My number 9 was Resistance. Resistance, it's watchable. You can watch it. It does have some good parts in there, but it's just fucking really not that good. But it's still better than Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett was fucking terrible. Resistance, and because I like Chris. I like Christopher Sean. That he did a good part in that. We had him on the show, and that's what made me go back and watch it a second time after talking with him. And like, I was like, let me give this another chance. And then I watched it again. I said, yeah, no, it still sucks, but it's still better than Book of Boba Fett because and it at least got a second season. So you know it's good enough to at least get a second season. If it don't even get a second season, then it's fucking terrible. And so Resistance. Yeah, Resistance is my
I get it.
number
I
9.
didn't even watch Resistance, so
Go watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fucking. I mean,
I
it's
won't watch it.
terrible, but it's not terrible.
No. The fact that it takes place in the sequel era and has sequel characters already makes me not want to watch it.
Well, only person there. I mean, it only got a couple of sequel characters in it. I mean, it's basically a whole nother cast. It's.
I know.
I mean, they bring in. I mean, they have
but it's during that same
cameos, but
time
it's.
period, and I don't care.
I mean, it's kind of cool. They got BB-8, and I always like BB-8. I think BB-8 was one of the best characters in the fucking sequel trilogy. At least he was funny, and he didn't even
yeah,
talk.
because at least he couldn't say stupid shit. Yeah, he couldn't say stupid shit.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was. I mean, all reality, it's not fucking horrific. It's terrible. It's not horrific. Horrific is Book of Boba Fett was horrific. Resistance was just terrible. But you can watch it. Like, if I watched it now, I mean, I could still watch it. If it came on, like if they were doing a fucking You know what I'm saying? Like a Resistance fucking day and it just was playing all day on TV, I'd watch it. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's Star Wars, but you know what I'm saying? I might not enjoy it that much. I probably wouldn't pay attention. I'd be doing other things while it's playing in the background. But, you know what I'm saying? I would turn it on. Okay, what was your number 8?
Number 8, I put Bad Batch. And I know that's really low for a lot of people.
Oh, you're fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
Bad Batch.
I know.
Oh,
man. Dude,
fucking
it wasn't
goddamn. Get off of this fucking against animation shit, man. Fuck, Bad Batch was good.
It was good, but dude, like the last season, if you would have asked me before this last season, I probably would have put it a lot higher. But this last season really kind of put a damper on it for me. They had a solid direction. It was entertaining. It was, like I said, there was a coherent plot. But this last season just kind of, this last season put a damper on it. Now, if you would have put just the Crosshair episodes and excluded all the other episodes from this season, again, it still would have been great. But it was too up and down this last season for me to
It was up and down, but
high.
Overall, it was still better than that. I put Kenobi as my number 8. Kenobi was just fucking... And the reason Kenobi got to 8 is because, honestly, the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight at the end of it, that shit was like the best part of the whole fucking thing. But it was good enough to give it a higher rating than the fucking, you know what I'm saying, than Resistance and Book of Boba Fett. Because like we said earlier, Kenobi was just not... It was not about Kenobi, man. Kenobi met Leia, didn't ever happen. You know, just adding shit in there and making shit up. The shit was about Reva and her story. And, you know, it was just way freaking, like, it was just all confusing. And the camera shake was just fucking, God, I can't get over that camera shake. That shit was fucking terrible.
I got to get over one thing real quick. Am I doing, like, my personal top 10? Or am I doing objectively the top 10?
No, your personal top 10.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing my personal top 10. That's why I figured we were going to
I want to
argue.
make sure. Because there's one on here that I have that's like, objectively, no, it shouldn't be in here. It shouldn't be as high as it is. But personally, it is. You know what I mean?
Okay. So my number 7 was Tales of a Jedi. I thought for it being a little bitty mini-series, it was really well done. The stories were really well told. We learned something about 2 characters that we really didn't... I mean, we knew, but we really didn't know the details of it. I thought it was really well executed. I thought that the animation could have been done just a little bit better than they did it, but the overall storylines that they gave us was really, really good, and I like learning about the characters, and I definitely hope they come out with more, because I think that there's a lot of characters that they should do another little mini-series about. I think there should... I mean, as long as they don't do it about Yoda, because they do about Yoda and explain where Yoda came from and all that shit, I'm going to be mad as shit. That's something I don't want to know.
So, I actually agree with you. I'd Tales at 7. So, it was really good for what it was. Right? Yeah. It was really good. The Dooku ones are my favorite. The Ahsoka episodes, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I don't know why. I just didn't think the Ahsoka episodes were quite there. But the Dooku episodes, awesome. Exactly what I was looking for. I loved kind of seeing a little bit of the backstory of that character. Loved seeing young Qui-Gon. I love seeing what kind of caused Dooku to leave the Jedi Order. And it showed more problems that were going on within the Republic. Just added more depth. It was great. The Ahsoka one, dude, I'm really not liking Ahsoka lately. So
the Ahsoka one was cool because it showed like how Anakin trained her just to be fucking that good. You know what I'm saying? She's
that
like
one
fucking,
episode.
That shit was fucking great. But even when she was a baby, how they figured out how she became a fucking, how they found out that she was a Jedi. That shit was fucking crazy, man. Her fucking, she got, her fucking mom got attacked by a giant fucking tiger looking thing. That shit was fucking cool as shit. I don't know. I liked it all. Let's go back right quick. Chris says Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, Andor, Bad Batch, Obi-Wan, Tales of the Jedi, Visions, Resistance, and then Boba Fett. That's his top 10.
I think Chris had a good point. Let's be honest. There's really only 3 to 4 good shows, and the rest are mid to terrible. You're
Yeah.
kind of right. You're kind of right.
Darth Arham. You're new to the show. I don't think we've seen you before, have we?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show, man. So what was your number 6? Or what was your number 7? Did you say? Oh, you said
Yeah,
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales.
Okay, what was your number 6?
Number 6, and this one was tough, but Visions. Again, there was like the good episodes. Like the good episodes of Visions could have been like top 5 easily. But the bad episodes definitely hold it back. Visions, there's just a lot of good episodes and a lot of bad episodes. So it was hard to like place Visions. But I feel like 6 is like it's middle because it's bad episodes definitely hold it back, but its good episodes were really good, especially that first season.
That and I agree with you on that one. I have Visions as my 6 too. Because the good episodes were just they were great.
So good. Oh
you know,
my God.
and I would actually say that season 1 of Visions was probably fucking way better than season 2. Season 2 had a couple good episodes, but they had more bad episodes than they did good episodes. The fucking one with the old guy in season 1, Ronin, the Elder, the ninth one, all them ones was fucking great, man. It was like great storytelling, great.
But the reason Chris says Visions is like Boba, 1 to 2 good episodes, the rest are just cringe. Yeah, there were same amount of like good episodes, but because it wasn't a continuing story, those own episodes are able to like shine because each episode was its own thing. It's not one continuous story. When you have when you have a linear continuous story, that one episode can drag everything else down a lot more. Yeah. Meanwhile, when everything is like, when it's an anthology, like in Visions, where everything is its own story, it doesn't drag it down as much.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just my opinion.
I completely agree with that. The good stories were so good that the bad stories that they put in, because like
forget about them, and you don't watch them.
Like the fucking, the Astro Boy looking fucking one, that shit was so stupid.
Bad.
You know what I'm saying? That shit
Star
was
Wars
dumb as
content
shit.
we've ever seen.
I am not a big fan of claymation, and they did too many claymation ones in the second one. Right. 2 of them in the second season, it just ruined the whole second season for me.
The first season was definitely better.
The only one that I truly liked, I liked the first one of the second season. I thought that was cool. I liked the artistic view that they came with. The story was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was good. And then a few of the other ones was good, but they were good enough that like it didn't destroy the bad ones, didn't destroy the good ones, because like you said, they're different stories. Each one's its own story. So like maybe we should do, well, I think we did that. I don't think we did that on season 2. I don't think there was enough good ones to fucking do a fucking top tier of fucking Visions 2. We just kind of said what we thought about the series. Okay, my number 5 was Bad Batch.
Let's see.
Bad Batch was good. I liked Bad Batch.
Dude, and that's the hard part, because the first season of Bad Batch was like, oh, so good, dude.
But I don't think there was enough in the second season that was bad to ruin the first season for me. You know what I'm saying? And there was still some good episodes in the second series. So when you really boil it down, there was enough good episodes in season 1 and season 2 to outweigh the bad of season 1 and season 2. Because there was some bad episodes in season 1. There were just some filler episodes. But I don't know. I get more of the Clone Wars off of Bad Batch, and some of like even though Bad Batch was a linear story, there was a lot of fucking filler episodes that were about character development. So it didn't make it that bad, because you're learning about, Plo Koon, or you're learning about, Mace, or you're learning about Yoda, or, Yoda's taking an adventure, or, you got the Mortis fucking arc that, these is like separate things within the Clone Wars.
For me, Bad Batch went kind of backwards though, because the first season seemed like they had a focus and it seemed more serious. And then the second season went like it was like, here, let's make a TV show that can be good for both adults and kids. And then the second season was like just kids. and it got really simple and dumb to me.
I think it just had a lot more character development. It was a lot more. I think it wasn't even character. It was more just story development, like showing where they're at and like how they're trying to find their way in this fucked up galaxy that they no longer really are a part of. They live in it, but they're not a part of it like it was when they were in the Empire. But even those episodes were not good episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like even the story within the story of the episode just wasn't that good. So, but it's still, to me, the good ones and the story part of the good episodes were just, it carried it, I think, in it, and that's what made me put it at 5. Because when I think about it, because the way I thought about when I was picking my list is like, what would I watch over what? Like if I was turning on and I wanted to watch some Star Wars, what would I watch first? And then I went down the order, and I would watch like Bad Batch over Visions, or I would watch Bad Batch again over Tales. Well, I don't know, man, that's kind of hard. I would over Tales just because Tales is so short. You know what I'm saying? If I want to invest some time into watching some Star Wars and I'm picking a TV series that I'm going to watch, I'm going to sit down and watch Bad Batch season 1 and 2 over, 6 15-minute episodes of Tales. I'm going to invest more of my time and really get into depth. All right. So what was your number 5?
My number 5 was Rebels. Now, granted, I didn't finish Rebels, so that's why I haven't seen the last 2 seasons, I think. So that's probably why. Dude, I know this overall story is better. The overall story is really good, but again, I can't get over the animation that Rebels goes with. Their animation style is a little bit weird.
Yeah,
Clone Wars is easier to watch because the animation is more smooth, looks a little bit more like there's a little bit more definition. Looks better to me.
Yeah, Rebels
has some weird
crazy
animation.
thing is Rebels came out after Clone Wars. You think they'd have better animation. I don't know why they chose to go with the animation style.
The plot and the story has better writing. The dialogue, I feel, doesn't. So that's why I put it at number 5.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Number 4, what you got?
Oh, did you do 5?
Yeah, 5 was Bad Batch.
Oh, 5 was Bad Batch. Number 4, Clone Wars. And I know it's going to ruffle some feathers, right? And you're all wondering what's my top 3. But again, it's hard for me to get into animation. And there was a couple things in Clone Wars that I was like, not the biggest fan of. But yeah, still a good show. I just like my top 3 more than Clone Wars.
I have Clone Wars as my number 4 too.
Okay.
And what made me put Clone Wars is it's not so much the animation. I loved all that stuff.
Yeah, what do you?
I love the Clone Wars.
3?
It's just so hard to get through the first 2 seasons. 3rd season, the beginning of it, it's once you get into it and it starts getting good, then it's okay. And then from that point on, it's fucking great. But then first 2 seasons, and I know it's a lot of character building, and I know it's all that stuff, but it's just like, and I've done this several times. I'm like, I'm about to watch all Clone Wars again, and I'll get started, and then I'll get distracted, and I'll start watching other shit.
Steve,
but if I start from season 3 and just go from season 3 on, I'll finish it. But if the first 2 seasons is just really hard for me to get through. But and that's why I picked. That's why I put it at number 4. Because it's just the first couple seasons. After that, it's fucking great. I love and even watching it because there's some episodes, there's some arcs within season 1 and season 2 that are good, but the whole thing the first 2 seasons as a whole is just really hard to invest the time to watch them.
Agreed. For me, Clone Wars doesn't get even the 3rd season is hard to get through. It's mainly 4th and 5th is where it really starts picking up for me.
Let's see, number 4, Clint put
Clone Wars.
Oh wait, so Nielsen said He said, didn't like young Caleb Dune. That was cool. Okay. I did like young Caleb Dune. That was cool. Clint says, number 4 for Clone Wars. That's what he picks. Rebel and Clone Wars are easy to watch when you're a kid are into it as well. Ha ha ha. My 5-year-old and 2-year-old daughter get into it, and we lightsaber fight while watching it. Fun. Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
I wish my grandkids was here so I could do that, but only grandkid I got here is my granddaughter, and she's 4 months old, 5 months old. So she's not old enough yet. Rebels is easily the best linear story show in Star Wars. Each character has great development, and like Clone Wars, it gives you more of the mythical side of the Force and the world between worlds. Yeah. Okay. Number 3. What the fuck?
Mando. I had Mando at my number 3.
Wait a minute. Go back. I fucked up.
Oh,
Number 3, I had Andor.
Andor? Oh my god.
I have Andor as number 3.
Kyle, what? Oh, geez.
Andor,
That's crazy.
just to me, it's great, but it's not Star Wars. It doesn't give you that Star Wars type of feeling. It doesn't give you the Star Wars nostalgia that Star Wars is supposed to give you when you're watching Star Wars stuff. The story is great. The music was great. Everything is great about it. It just it doesn't feel like you're watching Star Wars when you're watching Andor. It feels like you're watching
I don't know how
something
you
else.
put 2 above Andor.
Something else other than it's like you're watching fucking like a remake of like somebody else tried to do a TV show based on Star Wars with totally different characters and totally different everything, but it's like doing a space opera TV show that's like Star Wars but not like Star Wars. That's the feeling it gave me, which is great. I like it, but it's not. That's why I put it as number 3.
To me, Mando's number 3 because that last season, the first 2 seasons were all right. We're good. We loved them. But that last season, just awful. Almost as bad as Boba Fett, right?
I don't know if it was almost. It ain't nothing as bad
Dude,
as
it was
Boba Fett.
pretty bad.
Fuck, I watched the Ewok special.
Rewatch
over
that
fucking-
last season again, dude.
I have watched it again. It's not that bad. It's not
bad.
that bad. The thing that sucked about season 3, and this is all honesty about this is the honest thing about it. The problem that everybody has with season 3 is we already knew what was going to happen before it happened.
No.
Like we fucking predicted the entire fucking season before it even fucking happened. And that's what, like, you didn't have nothing exciting to expect. Like, the first 2 seasons, you didn't know what was going to happen next. We knew exactly what was going to happen in this fucking entire season. We knew they were going back to Mandalore. We knew he was going to need help. We knew they was going to bring in more Mandalorians. We just knew everything that was going to happen, so it was nothing that was exciting. We knew the story ended before the story started, and it just ruined it. Like, because if we didn't know none of that and we watched it, there was a couple episodes that just were fucking terrible. Like the Rizzo fucking, that episode was fucking just terrible. But if we didn't know what the ultimate goal was for the end of the season, it would have been way better. It just sucked because we already knew. Everybody knew what it was.
It got really cheesy really fast. Yeah, I guess it was predictable, but it got cheesy really fast.
I mean,
it didn't have the same kind of, like, you could tell they did not have the same kind of writing.
No, it was. We just knew what was gonna happen, man, and that just ruins it when you know what's gonna happen. Let's see, we got Chris said, same, Andor is a good show, but it just lacks that Star Wars feeling. When you think of Star Wars, you think of Jedi's, lightsabers. Mando had an amazing first and second season. The third season was a bit of a disappointment. They should have taken Mando out of Boba and started season 3 with those 2 episodes. That's a good point. And I don't feel the same way about Rogue One. Like, Rogue One felt like Star Wars. And it didn't have no Jedi and Sith in there and lightsabers and all that shit, but it still felt like Star Wars. Andor just didn't give you that feeling. So it was that's what that's what made Andor just freaking like it made it weird feeling to me. I'm like, dude, am I watching Star Wars? What am I watching here? You know what I'm saying? It felt like it just I don't know. What's that one dude that we were what's that guy that we were making like he remade the DC shows? What's his name?
Zack Snyder?
Yeah, Zack Snyder. It felt like a Zack Snyder remake of Star Wars. That's what it really felt like to me. It didn't feel like I was watching Star Wars. It was like Zack Snyder tried to remake Star Wars. It's probably exactly the same feeling I'm about to get of the new Zack Snyder movie that's coming out. What is it called? The Moon or whatever.
Yeah,
it's gonna give me that feeling. It's like, yeah, it's gonna like. It's not that it's not good. It was good. You know, Andor is one of my favorites, but it just didn't give me that. And I had, to me, honestly, to have to have that Star Wars to make me when I want to go watch Star Wars, I want to watch something that's going to make me feel like I'm watching Star Wars, and Andor just didn't get that to me. Which I still would watch Andor above all the rest of the shit that's what I'm saying on the list. But you know what I'm saying. Like if I want to watch Star Wars, I'm gonna put on something that's gonna give me that Star Wars.
I get it. But to me, it was a different. It was definitely a different side of Star Wars, and that didn't ruin it for me. I like seeing this different side because there is more than just the Star Wars we're used to. And so I like kind of seeing this different side of the rebellion and the Empire, and
I think that they need because like until Mandalorian, until Ahsoka came, we didn't have no lightsabers in it, and it was fucking great, man. I don't need lightsabers and the Force and all that shit to make it feel like Star Wars to me. But like Andor just didn't feel like Star Wars at all. Like it just had nothing there. I was like, God damn, man, I had to sometimes retell myself. I had to sometimes tell myself this is Star Wars because it just didn't feel like, which is crazy because I didn't get that feeling when I watched Rogue One. Rogue One, I feel like I was watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right, Nelson. My number two was Rebels.
Okay.
My number two was Rebels because and Chris said it earlier, Rebels has the best linear storyline out of all of the Star Wars shows that's been out.
Yeah. And I I don't know how you could put a cartoon that was...
You're lucky it's not number one. I almost put it as number one, but then I had to really sit back and think, when I go to turn on the TV, what is the first thing when I want to watch Star Wars, and it's not a movie that I put on.
I just don't know how you could put Rebels. For me, it's just there's too much...
Because I look past all that and look at the fucking story. The story is amazing in Rebels. The story got the best.
I know.
Rebels has the best story out of fucking anything that came out, period.
But the method that they get... See, I agree with you. The linear story of Rebels is so good. But for me, I can't get past the delivery method.
You just gotta... What you got to do is you got to watch the last two seasons all the way up to the fucking end and see all the stuff that happens.
Right.
And I'm telling you, your mind, it'll change your mind, and the other shit you'll be able to look past that.
But it's like how it's because it's like the dialogue is very clunky, very like little kid show kind of dialogue.
Well, it's a little kid show.
I know. Kids. And it's so.
And it gets more in depth. It gets way more in depth in season 3 and season 4.
Right.
And it gets way more darker in season 4. In season 4, it gets way darker.
Big story.
Because then you got Palpatine coming in and Vader and stuff all in season 3 and season 4. You got it gets way. You got Maul in it. It gets way better in the season 3 and season 4. Season 1 and 2, I don't know. They're all good to me. I fucking watch the shit out of them. I probably watch Rebels 10 times at least. Or more, probably more. Okay, what's your number 2?
My number 2 was the original Clone Wars, like the
original one, the YouTube one that they came out on YouTube. That shit wasn't bad.
The one with it had like the different kind of animation. It was like
the one that came out on YouTube. That was released originally on YouTube.
Did it?
Yeah, it was originally released on YouTube. The one where like fucking they just look totally different. Yeah, it was originally released on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
And they didn't think it was going to be good. They released like the whole first season. No, they released the whole first season on YouTube, and then they got picked up. If you go and look at the thing, they were released on YouTube, and then they got picked up by
they were different.
Because.
But anyways, there was like barely any talking, but it was so cool. Not the movie. No, Clinton,
not the movie.
The
so there's another
2003 Clone Wars. Yeah, it was 2003.
Yeah, there's another Clone Wars that came out before that, and it was a different. It wasn't made by Disney or Lucasfilms or any of that. It was made by an independent company, and it had just different animation. And they originally released it on YouTube.
And the episodes were like 5 minutes long. Like they were super short.
Yeah, they weren't that long. Like when Mace takes on that fucking entire droid army by himself and shit, like an entire droid army, and fucking just like wipes them all out. It was like really fucking crazy.
Well, for me, I thought it was.
I forgot all about that
because the movies already told the story of the Clone Wars, right? Not as detailed, but this just showed like, all right, here it's just showing us a sneak peek into like the battles of the Clone Wars. We got the overarching story. Now let's see some specific battles. And it wasn't a whole lot of talking. It was literally just the fighting, right? And it was good fighting still. And it showed like the clones were badass in it without being cheesy. Like I just that show will always have a special place in my heart. I remember watching it growing up. It was just so good. That was my Clone Wars until the next Clone Wars came out, obviously. But that was like, that has the same kind of nostalgia for me that most people get from the other Clone Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they were good. I forgot all about that shit because, like, I remember the Mace Windu, how he takes on the fucking, his shirt's all ripped off and shit, and his fucking, he's all fucking scratched up, and he's sitting there and he, like, took on a whole fucking droid battalion and a fucking, that shit was crazy. He was, like, using the Force. When they use the Force in it, it's all, like, super dope instead of fucking cheesy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they use the Force to, like, blast 1,000 robots. Boo! Like, yeah, so we're crazy shit.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd put that in my top 10, but yeah, it was definitely. But yeah, originally that came out on YouTube. It was originally dropped on YouTube. It was made by, I can't remember what her name is. It was made by a chick and a guy. They made that shit. They did all the thing. It was made on YouTube, and then it was picked up by, I think Disney Plus picked it up, or Disney, not Disney, but Cartoon Network picked it up. Yeah. Number one, dude, it's Andor. I'm sorry, but nothing had better writing episode by episode. Fucking crazy.
No, it's not crazy. It wasn't Star Wars. No, just because you didn't feel all cozy with your bullshit, it was the most coherent to me. It made sense. It showed like this deep, intriguing storyline that didn't need to have bullcrap gimmicks to make it good. I liked how it showed the other side of Star Wars and the dirty reality of rebellion and of life under the Empire. Dude, it was great. And every episode, like the dialogue, it just had good writing throughout rather than, oh, here's some good writing. Now here's a crap episode that we just kind of threw out. You know what I mean? It was consistent.
Yeah. I don't know. It just didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt weird.
See, I don't get how you don't think it felt like Star Wars. To me, it was like, here's the rebellion, and it was the nitty gritty. It was definitely.
Feel like I was watching the fucking rebellion. I feel like I was watching fucking something totally different. Like it was something totally different than Star Wars, based in Star Wars or something. Like this don't even like the droids even didn't even look like Star Wars droids. Like what the fuck? Where that fucking weird ass droid come from?
But even objectively, I think Andor's the best. Personally and objectively, I think Andor was the best Star Wars TV show.
My number one is The Mandalorian. And let me explain why. Because when The Mandalorian came out, we hadn't had no good Star Wars in a while. The Mandalorian came out and just captivated me. Gave us this whole new era of Star Wars. It was something totally different in the Star Wars universe, but something that we were used to because we knew about bounty hunters. We knew about
the first season was so good.
Then we got Grogu, we got Baby Yoda. And the questions, that's what Star Wars is about. That's the reason George Lucas left so many loopholes, and so we would question. Like, oh man, where the hell did this dude? Did Yaddle and fucking Yoda get banging on it? What the fuck is going on, man? Where's this little baby Yoda come from? Then we found out he was 50 years old. Like, holy shit, right. He's 50. He can barely even walk yet. He can't even talk. You know what I'm saying? And it just all the excitement that it brought. All the way up until season 3. And season 3, like I said, season 3 is not fucking terrible. It's just not good.
But it's so
And the only thing that made it bad was, in all reality, was that we knew the final outcome. We knew what was going to happen.
Kyle, even in the dialogue, dude, the first season was a lot more serious, and it had some funny parts, but it was serious.
Well, you got to think about it.
And then the third one, it took a turn, bro. Like, it's not just the fact that we knew where it was going. It was the whole demeanor.
Have you ever watched a trilogy of any movie and you thought all 3 of them were fucking excellent other than fucking John Wick? Can't say John Wick because all John Wicks are bomb.
What do you mean? Yeah, but no other trilogy took a turn like that. You know what I mean? At least episodes 1, 2, and 3 of the original or the prequel trilogy all had the same kind of tone, and we're going in the same direction. You know what I mean?
It had the same tone, but you gotta understand.
1 and 2 had the same tone. 3 just curved, bro.
I don't know. It's still I was still different. Out of all of them, I was like, when I go and I turn on Disney Plus. Usually the first thing I go to, the first thing I watch is an episode of Mandalorian. That's like the first thing before I watch Ahsoka, when I turn on Disney Plus, the very first thing to do, I'll go watch some Mandalorian. That's the very first thing that I do. Mandalorian just gets me excited. It brings back that fucking inner child, fucking Star Wars fan. It did something to fucking basically it re-sparked the fucking Star Wars fucking inner me, that inner kid. It's like, oh my God, let's watch some Star Wars. That's what it did. And yeah, season 3 wasn't the greatest, but the first 2 seasons way makes up for fucking season 3. Because, we're judging some of these shows, we're judging Andor, and how is Andor going to fucking do when they're fucking doing 4 years or 4 episodes takes 5 years? How are they going to fucking...
And I will give you an updated rating after that season comes out. So it hasn't come out yet.
And, that's... And we don't know what's going to happen with fucking Mandalorian season 5 or season 4. It might need to be a season 4 with all these rumors going around that it might be a fucking movie. Like, don't make it a movie. It's going to be 2 hours long. Or even if it's 3 hours long, you fucking can't cut all the details in it that we need to know. We need to know some shit.
See,
and I don't have a problem, Darth Amir or him. I don't know how, I suck at names, but he says Andor is very adult, more of a regular TV drama, very believable, not as fantasy. And that's what you want. You want fantasy in Star Wars. That's the purpose of Star Wars.
Listen,
to take you out of reality.
Right.
To give you a break from reality.
But there's a point. You create this fantasy world, but that world still needs to have some kind of rules, still needs to have some kind of expectations.
What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm not finished. Let me fucking finish.
All right, go ahead.
There needs to be... Yes, it's a fantasy world. It's not like the real world, right? We have this technology in Star Wars. We have the Force. We have all that stuff. But there's still some rules. If someone gets stabbed, generally they die, okay? Someone gets shot in the face, they die. You know what I mean? A bigger army with more resources is going to have the advantage of a smaller army. You know what I mean? There still needs to be some kind of rules and some kind of expectations of a reality within this universe. Might be different than our universe, but there's still some rules to this universe. When you take out all those rules and take out all those expectations and make it pure fantasy, then nothing matters. There is no suspense. There is no excitement because anything could happen. There needs to be some kind of rules and some kind of boundaries that hold you to some sense of reality to give you that sense of excitement, to give you that sense of suspense. Where is this guy going to make it? Is there a chance? Is this guy the underdog?
Yeah, but you can still do that and make it feel like Star Wars. Like
I know.
Andor just didn't
and I
feel
felt
like
Andor
Star Wars.
did.
No, I actually did not feel like Star Wars at all. I just feel like I was watching. Honestly, Andor just felt like I was watching something that was good, but it just wasn't Star Wars to me. Like, fuck, man, like, you think of Star Wars, you think of stormtroopers, you think of fucking bad guys, and you just didn't get that. You just got, like, hints and, like, fucking, even though there were stormtroopers in the motherfucker and shit like that, it just didn't feel realistic. It felt very non-Star Wars. Like, everything, like, the most Star Wars thing that was built in there was fucking what's-his-face's ship. And they barely even showed any outer space travel. They barely even showed any of the things that make you think of the galaxy far, far away. It just didn't give you that nostalgia feeling. It just didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt like some, like, and you know I love Andor. It just doesn't make it feel like Star Wars. You know, it doesn't. Chris says, my biggest issue with Andor that I can't get over is that it just didn't really care for Cassian as a character. He was mid in Rogue One, and it didn't think they will get me to care about him.
I get that. He is not the same kind of. I think, but I also think that's a reflection of Disney as a whole. I think a lot of their shows have struggled to have this main character that really captivates your audience. Mandalorian did until season 3, where they kind of took the limelight off of him. I think a lot of their shows are struggling to have this main character that really captivates you and gets you to care.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you
and can hold that limelight well.
Look at the way George wrote stuff. When George wrote stuff, like, the whole 6 fucking things is about Anakin. But when we come into New Hope, when you're visualizing it and you haven't seen the prequels yet, you watch New Hope, you watch Return of the Jedi, you watch, Revenge of the Jedi and or Return of the Jedi, and you watch Empire Strikes. It's about Luke. The story is about Luke. He is the fucking character that draws your attention in. And then they got very good side characters that complement him. And Han and Leia and Chewbacca, C-3PO, these are fucking secondary characters that highlight him. Even though in Empire, it wasn't a lot about Luke. I mean, it was more on the secondary characters, but you still knew your focus was on Luke, on what Luke was doing. Even the little snippets where they show him training and doing stuff like that, it was about Luke. Then when the prequels came out, we learned it was all about Anakin. A lot of great side characters, but it was about Anakin. Then it complemented how the original trilogy was not really about Luke, it was about Anakin. The whole fucking thing was about Anakin. The whole time it was about Anakin. But it gave you that character, that one character that you were focused on, that you paid attention to. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that I think, and I agree with you, that Disney lacks, because they didn't make Cassian really that fucking, like, I can like a bad guy character or a guy that's in between, like, trying to figure out who he is. That's something that draws me in. But there wasn't really a whole lot of good secondary characters within Andor to complement him. And that's even in Mandalorian. There wasn't a whole lot of secondary. Mandor just struck. The secondary character was a fucking weird little green guy.
Right. And it's,
you know what I'm saying?
I get it. It's difficult to not only act as this main character that's center stage, but it's also difficult to write a compelling main character that's center stage. And Disney's kind of been falling short of this main spotlight character. You know, they don't have the same kind of main spotlight.
I think they've been using AI to write all their shit, and that's what really started the fucking.
Well, I think it's. I mean, I could get really honest. I think it's AI is a part of it. Maybe like the writing has been cheap, but it's also like, again, the motivation. It's like, hey, I have this idea for an awesome character. No, it's, hey, we have something that people might like, so let's use our PC and pick certain characters and pick certain actors for this. And it's not like an inspiration of a character. It's rather, hey, We
I
have this
don't
thing that's
know
going to
about
make
that, 'cause
money. Let's try to make money.
Tony wrote Andor, but you also got to remember it's kind of hard when you take something that was as great as Rogue One and try to create that into a TV series. You know,
Right.
even if you're telling
Well,
a different
thought
point
Andor
of it,
was
it's very
great.
hard to do
I love
that.
Andor.
And so I think that's one of the things. I think that's one of the things that made Mandalorian so good in the first couple seasons was this is a brand new character. So we're completely enthralled with this brand new character. And then you throw in this Yoda fucking wannabe fucking kid that, you know what I'm saying, can use the Force, and you're drawing in all the fucking fans that are like, holy shit, it's fucking Baby Yoda. Because fuck, we didn't even know his name until the second season. Everybody was just Baby Yoda. And I think that was the thing. It was something very new, and it was something old but brought to new. That really made Mandalorian stand out. It gave you that feeling. Andor, you're trying to come in and show what happened before Rogue One, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? George did it great, but it's really hard. George brought in new characters on a basis because in New Hope, we didn't have none of those characters. We had Obi-Wan, we had fucking Vader, and we had Luke Skywalker. When you go back to the originals, now we have Anakin. It's not Darth Vader yet. We have Obi-Wan, but he's young. You know what I'm saying? And we had new characters. We had Mace Windu. We had Padme. We had, we had all these new characters, and that nostalgia, or not the nostalgia, but the fucking intrigueness about these new characters. I mean, we knew of Yoda, but now he's young, or he's younger. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking moving around. We had Count Dooku. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have none of these characters before the prequel trilogy came out. So that gave us something to captivate. It gave us something to draw our attention in and wonder what's going on with these characters, what's going on with everything.
They were all very intriguing characters. They were all interesting. They were all.
There's a lot of complementary characters to the main character.
And now
George
I
is
feel like a
excellent
lot
at
of the
doing
characters
that.
now don't have that same level of intrigue.
Well, I think a lot of it is not the main character. You know what I'm saying? I don't even
It's
think
not just
so
the main
much
character. No, it's all the characters.
Yeah, the secondary characters are not complementing the main character enough. They're not like, because they keep switching around. If you ever notice, like, dude, even in Mandalorian, if you really look at it, dude, we went through so many different secondary characters. Like, every 2 episodes, there was a new fucking character being introduced. Like, who the fuck is this lady? Cara Dune. Then we have fucking this person and this person and this person. But I think what made Mandalorian stronger is because Mandalorian was a new character. When you got Cassian, we know this character. We've seen Rogue One. We know what he does. We know kind of his backstory a little bit just from watching Rogue One. And then they go back and they try to tell the story, but then you don't have no secondary, no good secondary characters that's really complimenting him a lot. I mean, Luthen is cool, but Luthen is in and out. And then they jump.
They also don't interact very much. Luthen is very much doing his own thing while Andor's doing his.
And I think another thing that kind of gave you like that where is they keep jumping back between Cassian and Mon Mothma. If it's about Andor, make it about fucking Andor. Why am I watching the whole episodes about fucking Mon Mothma? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whole fucking episode about Mon Mothma. I got 2 minutes of fucking Andor. And that's just like, what the fuck? Like,
and the reason I think it works, because Andor, I don't think Andor's necessarily about Andor. I think it's more about the rebellion.
Well, I think that just like we were saying, the last episode, the Ahsoka episode, Disney has a very bad problem of trying to create this giant world, and then they name it after a character. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really about, like, Obi-Wan was not about Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? Boba Fett was not about Boba Fett. You know what I'm saying? There was all these intertwining stories within the story that's supposed to be based on a character that they should have been focusing on. You know, and they even do it in freaking in the Bad Batch. They even, you know what I'm saying? It's not, they brought in all these other characters and try to tell a story about these characters. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, I don't care about that character. I care about what I came here to watch, the Bad Batch, or, you know what I'm saying, Ahsoka, or Boba Fett or Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't care about all these other secondary characters, and it takes away from the storyline. It so much takes away from the storyline because we know Star Wars as being a linear story. You know what I'm saying? Even though George went from the original trilogy and went back in time, it still gave us a linear story. These jumping around stuff that they do and all these secondary characters that they're focusing on takes away from the character that we're supposed to be focusing on.
The prequels did it. We had, in episode 2, we had Obi-Wan going and figuring out what's going on in Kamino while Anakin's protecting Padme.
Yeah, but it was still... The secondary character was good enough to fucking care about. You know what I'm saying?
That's
when
true.
the secondary character ain't give a good enough to care about, which, honestly... If they would have just came out, and you said it earlier, if they would have just came out and said, we're coming out with, like, the Reva story or, you know, Darth Reva or Inquisitor Reva, I wouldn't have had a bad problem with that because that's what the story was based on. And then they could have jumped to Obi-Wan Kenobi because the story intertwined in a way that, you know what I'm saying, that Reva's after fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it wouldn't have been...
My problem with Reva
as bad.
is I just don't think her character made any sense.
Well, I mean, it did to a certain extent because, I mean, it did way more than Obi-Wan characters.
So I'm going to kill the son he doesn't even know about?
Well, that was at the very end. But if you go through the rest of...
Stupid.
If you go through the very end, I mean, if you go through the whole thing, Reva's story was kind of captivating. She was one of the fucking Padawans that fucking Anakin stabs. She knows that Anakin is Darth Vader. She joins forces with him in order to get close to him to fucking kill him. That's a great storyline. It's a very good fucking storyline. And her tracking down Obi-Wan to get, because from what I look at, like what I think they were trying to do is, and somewhere they dropped the ball at, but they were trying to get it to the point where Obi-Wan, the person that beat Anakin already, you know what I'm saying, will fight fucking Vader. And then she could come in and fucking, you know what I'm saying, get him while Obi-Wan was battling him. I think that's a direction that they were trying to go at first, and then they just went left field with it for some fucking reason. Like, I think they realized at the last moment that, hey man, you know, this is about Reva, it's not about Obi-Wan. We should probably make it more about Obi-Wan. So they made the last 2 episodes more about Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? And they killed her in the 7th episode. Or she didn't even die, and then they brought her back at the very end because Obi-Wan didn't kill him, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the situation may be. But it just wasn't about. And Reva's story, like I said, is intriguing. I would be mad as shit if he came in and fucking stabbed me in the fucking stomach when I was just a kid and I didn't die. I'm trying to come back and kill him too. Shit, I'm trying to get my damn revenge. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to that story. I can't relate to the fact that they made a whole fucking thing about her and they called it Obi-Wan Kenobi. It wasn't about Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was about Reva's story. Reva's story is intriguing. But we're all looking to like, why is an Obi-Wan in here that much? Why is this Reva chick here all the time? Why do they keep going back to this Reva chick? What the fuck is going on with Obi-Wan? It causes you, it discombobulates your mind in the way that you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because you're there to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just like with the Book of Boba Fett. You're there to watch the Book of Boba Fett, and they don't even give you Boba Fett. They give you some guy that dresses like Boba Fett that turns into a punk, and then they throw 2 episodes of fucking Mandalorian in it to make it better because they knew they ruined it. You know what I'm saying? There's all this secondary character stuff, and the secondary character is not complimenting the main character. And they're doing too much about making this story about the secondary characters than the main character. And it just draws you out of the storyline. When you write a character, you write a character based on that character. You don't write the Punisher and then talk about Superman for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. You got to be focused on that character or it draws the attention away from that character. You know what I'm saying? The secondary characters are supposed to be there to complement the main character.
Right. And I think the problem was, like, especially with Obi-Wan, is we didn't see what we wanted to see from Obi-Wan. We would have been fine with Reva if we would have gotten everything we wanted from Obi-Wan. But Obi-Wan seemed very dry during that whole thing. Like, we didn't get to see the full extent of Obi-Wan and everything he was going through and the things he was thinking and the struggles he was. No, it was every time we even got close and it started approaching that, it switched to Reva.
Yeah, because like if you go into the book where he's in the hut and he's fucking crying and he's fucking lonely and all that different stuff that happens to him in the book, how he like creates his hut and he's going through these things and people are breaking in. You got Jawa stealing his shit. They just give us little bitty bits and pieces of that, and that's the story that we wanted. We wanted to know the struggle that he was going through. We wanted to know, and they just give us little bitty snippets of that shit, and they didn't tell a linear story about it. And like you said, then they jumped to Reva and her story. We get a little snippet of fucking Obi-Wan, 10 minutes of fucking Reva. Back to a little bit of Obi-Wan, 10 minutes of fucking Reva, then the episode's over. And it was like, dude, that's like, I'm here to see fucking Kenobi. And then the camera shake just made it fucking 10 times, million times worse. Yeah. That shit was it.
And Chris is right. It didn't fit. It did not fit in regular canon. Yeah. Leia knowing Obi-Wan, Vader meeting Kenobi, how they
like
left.
The whole,
and then Fate killing the Inquisitor, like just,
the problem with Kenobi is that it contradicted a lot of what we knew of up to that point. Leia knowing Obi-Wan, Vader meeting Kenobi for New Hope, and Fate killing the Grand Inquisitor. Yeah, it just was... I mean, like, you kill the Grand Inquisitor, like, in the fucking, first, second episode, and then we're like, dude, we know the Grand Inquisitor's around. We all seen Rebels. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? We know that fucking Obi-Wan never met Leia. We know fucking that Vader and Obi-Wan didn't fight again. We know all these things. And there was just way too much fucking, the writers just fucking, it's like, dude, did y'all ever watch Star Wars? Do y'all know anything about Star Wars? But it's just, it was very, very bad. It wasn't one of those, it just, only reason I put it above Book of Boba Fett, because Boba Fett, like, dude, you can't take a character and just turn him into a cookie baking fucking town saving bitch. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do that. That's not who Boba Fett is. Leaves with Kenobi, if they ever did come out with a second season, they could Bail had some fucking buddy come in, had Obi-Wan come back and wipe the memories of fucking him ever meeting, Leia. The Vader thing, they can't really fix that, with Vader and Obi-Wan fighting again. But, if they came out with a second season and did some things to, fix it, I mean, they could fix it. You can't fix Boba Fett now. Boba Fett is just ruined. You ruined Boba Fett for me forever. We know that him, we know that Luke knows of Obi-Wan in New Hope. He says, Obi and Kenobi. You know what I'm saying? He knows of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He knows who he is. He's been around. You know what I'm saying? And, they even made it say, when he said, yes, I'm Obi-Wan, Ben. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to confuse that. So that wasn't even a bad problem to me. It's just... And like I've said it plenty of times on the show, I know all y'all probably tired of hearing me. It's like Disney is intentionally trying to ruin the George Lucas characters. They either kill them off or they're trying to ruin them. Because you got Boba Fett ruined. You got Obi-Wan Kenobi ruined. Han's dead. Leia's dead. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're just trying to get rid of Luke dead, went out like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? They're intentionally ruining George's characters. And that's the characters that we all love. That we all grew up in and were excited to see anything that had to do with these characters. And then we got introduced to new characters when George came out with the prequel trilogy that even made it even better, because we got Mace Windu. We got Jedi that they could bring back, and it could be. I wouldn't mind seeing Mace Windu again. If they brought back Palpatine, fuck him, might as well, and Maul bring back a Jedi. But you know what I'm saying? We got to meet you know what I'm saying, Boba Fett's dad. We got to learn a little bit more about his lineage. Then in the Clone Wars, they explained it even more. And, you know what I'm saying? But then they just, come on, Boba Fett is the fucking bad guy. He is not the save the town good guy. And he doesn't become that until, and he's not even that. It's not until he becomes the Mandalore that he's worried about even his people. He didn't even care about his fucking people. Oh, we locked the Garrison. But yeah, that like you, and that's a good point. Chris says Luke meets Kenobi and having an encounter with a dark side user. This is why Disney needs to stop messing with original characters and make their own shit and ruin that themselves. Yeah, because we don't get any type of idea that that Luke ever got anything but sheltered up until the New Hope. I mean, all he's trying to do is get the fuck away. You get attacked by some crazy woman, and your fucking uncle and aunt damn near die to save you, and fucking finally, you know what I'm saying? You're not trying to go out into the galaxy. You're trying to stay where it's fucking safe. You know, this lady tried to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come out. Like, what they should have done, they should have came out with Kenobi, made it about Kenobi. Came out with Book of Boba Fett, made Boba Fett the badass that he is. Or at least take him to the point where he becomes the Mandalorian, or the Mandalore, and finds out about his daughter and you know what I'm saying, the stuff from the book. That's the biggest problem that I have. Why are you guys even writing new shit? And there's fucking so much shit written down already that you guys can just make. Even like the High Republic, this is some great shit. Like, come out with some movies about the High Republic. Y'all created all these characters and all this new shit. Come out and fucking talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, make movies about that. Make TV shows about that. Tempest Runner would be one of the greatest movies ever if they make that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even really got that many Jedis or anything in it. It's about the fucking, the chick called the Tempest being in fucking jail or being a slave. It's fucking, and it's a great fucking book. Man, it's fucking one of my favorite books that I've read to date. It's so good. They can make that shit. I just don't know why they, I mean, like I said before, Disney is just trying to kill off all George Lucas's creation to create their own shit. And that's all they're doing. I truly believe that.
Yeah, it just sucks, you know what I mean? Because they're too focused on their own characters and their own profit and their own agendas that they totally miss out on like these good stories that at the end of the day could bring in a lot more money. They just don't want to invest and put in the effort for good quality stories. And
this is the thing. They don't have to fuck with any of the original characters.
No.
They don't have to fuck with them.
Do your own thing. Just
do your own thing. And I understand that you don't want to do something because the Rise of Skywalker.
Look at every time they do introduce one of their own characters. Most of the time they suck.
Well, the Mandalorian didn't suck. You know what I'm saying? Andor didn't suck. Andor's their character.
Season 3 sucked. And Andor, yeah, I know. Because they actually put in the effort into making quality writing and directing.
Well, that's because they got the person that wrote Rogue One and directed Rogue One.
You see what I mean?
But I think that they could do way better. Like, and I'm going to stand on this. And I know y'all tired of me hearing this, but do it a High Republic. Y'all created some great characters. You know, that are fucking well worth making stories about. I mean, you wrote the books. The books are shit, some of the best-selling books that there is. And the stories are good. They're not, like, fucking terrible by no means. They're fucking good stories. Like, and they could do that shit. Even, like, the young adult novels of part of the High Republic are fucking good stories. It's good writing. Like, you have them. They belong to you. You know what I'm saying? They're under the Lucas banner. They're canon. You can put them out. And fuck, it's not like you give a shit about canon and fucking legends anyway, because you keep bringing legend shit into canon. So, since y'all don't care, fucking, you got somebody writing stories for you already that are fucking good. Make them stories. Like, you ain't got to keep fucking following this train of thought. You know what I'm saying? Come out with a season 4, Mando. Make it better than season 3. Be done. Let it come to an end. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to a fucking thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you can come out with the fucking Grogu fucking TV series, you know, in 10 years. And what, you know, and make it 100 years done past. So now he's like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the situation. There's so many different directions you could take it. You ain't got to keep, they have to keep trying to beat a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? The horse is not going to get up and run. And that's what they're trying to do. Hopefully Ahsoka does better, and I think it will just because Dave Filoni wrote it. I think it's going to come out and have a little bit more depth into it. I think the first 2 episodes was more just character building and more just showing us where the characters stand at this. I'm pretty sure he has somewhere that's going. And I know that Dave is going to write a linear story, so it's going to continue on where the story left off. He's not going to just write random episodes. Not what Dave does. He learned from the best. Now, if we was talking about John, who knows what we would be getting next? It might be the Mandalorian. But I don't see a direction that they can go. Like, why? Like, I'm more excited about seeing the new Rey fucking movie because at least it's at a new start. You know what I'm saying? It's at a starting point. What happens after the First Order? What is Rey doing? You know what I'm saying? What is Finn doing? Get Poe back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the fucking, how are they rebuilding the fucking, the new Republic, or the new Republic? You know what I'm saying? At least they're at a fucking starting point where they can create anything that they want. And they're not trying to go back and fucking figure out, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with, you know, characters that already exist and they ruin them. I'd rather have you fucking make something off a character that you created, and if you fuck it up, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm more excited to see that than anything else.
They already did fuck them up, so I
but they can make Rey better.
Watching them.
I'm hoping they don't do no dumb shit like bring Ben back as a Force ghost. If they do that, I'm even fucking mad as shit. We don't want to see Force Ghost Ben. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Kylo Ren was not that fucking captivating of a character.
Any sequel.
But I don't mind to see because Daisy really did a good job of playing Rey. It wasn't that the acting was bad. Finn, what's his face, did a good job of doing the acting for Finn. You know, Poe, what's his face, did the acting was fucking good. It was just the fucking story sucked. Now, if you come in and you do a new story of her training Jedi or her going across the galaxy helping people and being the Jedi or being the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the middle person or the fucking gray Jedi or whatever, you can make a good story out of that. And Daisy Ridley's a good actor. She could come in and act a part and do a good fucking part. It's just going to suck to hear her say I'm fucking Rey Skywalker all the fucking time because it's going to be like, dude, fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. You name stealing, identity stealing, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I think that they could do a good story if they do it right. It just Disney's track record ain't that good. But I'm more excited to see that and whatever they're gonna do with Dawn of the Jedi than I am to see fucking Dave Filoni and them fucking combine all the fucking, and John combine all the fucking stories together and make a movie that leads up to the fucking First Order. Like, cause I really don't care about the First Order. I don't give a fuck about none of them characters. So I don't want to see that. But starting Rey at a new starting point, this is a completely open fucking platform. You can do anything. And they're good at doing that. We see that with fucking like Rogue One. We see that with fucking, you know, Mandalorian. We do not see that with existing characters. You know what I'm saying? That they're trying to fill in the blanks that George left open for a reason. They should have never came out with a sequel trilogy. They should have just made something totally different. Like, came out with a Mandalorian trilogy right off the bat. They could have came out with that, and then they could have came out with a series, and we would have all been excited because we'd have been like, this is some dope shit because it's something that we hadn't seen before. But them trying to fill in the blanks and trying to fucking... There was a reason George left those blanks there, so we can use our imaginations to figure out the things that happen. That's what makes us good. All right, Clint, have a good day, man. All right. There wasn't really no news.
No, there wasn't.
Everything's about Ahsoka. Like, there ain't even no real good fucking toy news coming out. Like, one good thing, one thing that I seen was Tony Gilroy did an amazing speech. Y'all look it up. Tony Gilroy's picket line speech. Look it up and read it. Like the dude breaks down some knowledge and literally talks about what they're standing up for. And I agree with him. I definitely agree with him. They shouldn't be using AI to write shit. You need fucking. It takes a person to fucking really put emotions into a fucking story. AI can't do that yet. It's not sophisticated enough yet to put the emotions that these characters need. And he does. It's a great fucking story. But other than that, everything was about Ahsoka. Somebody talking about Ahsoka. Somebody talking about reviewing Ahsoka. Somebody fucking talking about the characters. Somebody. It was just all about Ahsoka. Or one of the characters that did an interview talking about what we all just watched. There wasn't really no news out.
Yeah.
They got it there. So, but I do have a quiz.
Oh boy, I'm fucked.
I made these ones easier.
Sure.
I know I say that every time, and you be like, "What the fuck? How was that easy?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sure. All right, hit the button.
Yep, hit the button. Let's get to the quiz.
Stop right there, you rebel scum. Prepare yourself for the Star Wars Impossible quiz. Blast them.
Okay. Remember, let the fucking chat answer before you answer.
I ain't gonna say anything.
We'll just talk. Say crazy shit.
All right.
Okay. Who is known as the betrayer of the Jedi?
I mean, that sounds like it could be really simple, but I don't know.
Think. Ahsoka's fine. In the cartoon. I don't like Rosario Dawson. Nope, Chris is not Anakin.
Not Anakin?
Nope.
That probably would have been my actual guess, though. It's Anakin.
Nope, it's not Anakin.
If not Anakin, maybe one other I have in mind, but...
Well, you can answer now. Somebody in the chat answer.
Oh, okay. Dooku?
Yep, Dooku was it.
There we go.
Okay, question number 2. What famous director said this about Star Wars? I have never experienced special effects that were so real.
None of them. He's probably one of the original directors. I just can't remember their names.
What famous director said this about Star Wars? I have never experienced special effects that were so real. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, chat. Bryce Dallas Howard. No.
Richard Markin?
No. It's a
Didn't he
famous
do-
director.
Oh. I thought he's the one who did episode 5. No? Ron Howard.
Nope.
J.J. Abrams.
Nope.
Ryan Johnson.
Nope.
That's all I can really remember. I don't know any.
Come on, guys. I didn't say it was a Star Wars director.
Oh.
All right. Steven Spielberg.
I was literally about to guess him next. God damn it.
Steven Spielberg said that.
Just give me time.
Okay, question number 3. What is recognized? Star Wars is recognized for its adoption of what storytelling technique?
Awesomeness.
Yeah, it's definitely that. But it's recognized for something under the fucking
A space opera.
Writers Guild. No.
A movie.
Yeah, a movie.
It did use a movie.
It was a movie. But we're talking about the story of the movie. The hero journey.
Redemption?
It's definitely
hero's journey?
it's definitely known for the hero journey, but it's a single continuous storyline. No movies had done that before. Star Wars did it. George Lucas took it from fucking TV. TV is the only one that had a continuous storyline. And like fucking soap operas. That's why it got the name space opera. Because he couldn't call it a soap opera, it was a movie. So he said it's a space opera. But it's a single continuous storyline. What was the name of the galaxy that Star Wars takes place in? Like ours is the Milky Way, what's the name of theirs?
The far, far away galaxy.
The far, far away, that's a good guess, but that's not what it is.
The Lucas galaxy. That's actually a great question. I don't know.
The Lucas galaxy. I try to make these ones not so much about, you know what I'm saying, Star Wars, a little bit outside they're still about Star Wars, but you know, it's not so much fucking within the fucking movies and TV shows and.
Oh, is
Come on, Chris. Come on.
Oh, I can't answer yet. Sorry.
Y'all are gonna be fucking like, what the fuck? Jar Jar's galaxy. No, I don't think he got the whole galaxy named after him.
Is it the Rishi Maze?
Nope. Rishi Maze is part of the galaxy.
Andromeda Galaxy? Or Andromeda?
No, that's part of it. Oh, I think that's in a whole different series.
Really?
It's called The Galaxy.
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you!
They didn't have a name, it's just The Galaxy.
That's
Have you once ever heard in any Star Wars movie they just call it this part of together? Inner rim, mid rim, the fucking core. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever say what the name of it is. It's just The Galaxy. Yeah, that's what they say. What is the name of the gas used to travel through hyperspace?
Pixie dust.
Pixie dust. Fart gas. It's Jabba's ass gas.
Cocaine. I feel like I should know what it is.
They've talked about it in Clone Wars. They've talked about it in Rebels. They talked about it on the movies. Chris says spice. No, I think spices gives you a different type of gas. I don't think spice gives spaceships hyperdrive capability.
I remember. I think I remember.
All right, well, Chris already gave an answer. So you can answer now.
Coaxium?
Yep. Coaxium hyperfuel. Okay. Y'all should get this one. How did the TIE fighter get their names?
I know this one. Easy.
Cabana. That's another type of fuel, but the main fuel that they use is Come on. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What we got?
I don't know. They don't.
Well, how did the TIE fighter get their name? I told you all these wasn't hard.
Tinkerbell inside the engine.
Looks like a bow tie.
Looks like a bow tie.
From its proportion. Nope.
Twin ion engine.
Yep. Their engine arrangement is twin ion engine. Look at you.
Let's go.
That's two of them right so far.
I know.
Okay. What 1,000-year-old droid works for Maz Kanata and some suspect used to work for the Jedi?
No clue. C-3PO. R2-D2. Wally. Reva. Yeah, I have no idea. Used to work for the... They think used to work for the Jedi. Who does he work for now?
He works for Maz Kanata. What 1,000-year-old droid works for Maz
ugly little
Kanata
thing that hits
and
on
some suspect
Chewbacca,
he used to work for the Jedi.
That's the ugly alien that,
Gary
that hits
1.0.
on Chewbacca, right?
Yeah, that's the big eye lady with the little eyes, but puts on the glasses and her eyes become huge.
Yeah.
The 1,000-year-old lady that's been around for 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
I
Millennium.
think she's had Gary 1.0. Chris, crazy. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Anybody got an idea?
Dude, I have no clue.
Me 89D or AD9. Me 89. He kind of looks like Huang or
69 me.
Okay. Question number 8. What type of customized blaster does Lando Calrissian carry?
Oh shit. I think I know this from Battlefront.
All right, well, we'll find out. Chris, Star Wars team leader, come on. Y'all get it before Garrison can say it. Because he's already got 2 right.
No, I've had 3. I had Dooku.
3. Yeah.
I had Dooku,
Chris already said
Coaxium,
Dooku. That don't count.
and TIE Fighter. No, I said it before he did. Get out of here.
Desert Eagle. I don't think they had
Desert Eagle.
Eagles. That would be dope, though. That's what I would have. I would have a fucking regular gun or a slug thrower if I was in Star Wars. I wouldn't even have a blaster. I want something that Jedis can't deflect.
Is it the X8 Night Sniper?
Nope.
Oh, damn it. That's what he has in Battlefront.
It's the SE-14R. Yeah. But you guys got to listen to the question. What type of customized blaster? And the reason he customized it because he chromed it all out and made it look all dope. And it's
So
a SE-14R.
SE-14R.
R.
All right.
Okay, this one y'all should
I
get.
see.
What blaster and blaster rifle modification was designed for non-lethal force?
The tasers. Pepper spray.
Pepper spray. Pepper spray, motherfucker. Oh, you ever got pepper spray before? That shit sucks. It is fucking terrible.
The DEZ Nuts Blaster.
The DEZ Nuts Blaster. Come on.
These nuts. That was the dumbest joke I ever heard.
These nuts.
Set
on.
your blasters to stun.
Oh, man, you just gave the answer. The stun setting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since Garrison, E11 stun sighting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Stunner gunner.
Basically, the stun setting. And they're we know them because of a big blue circle that flies out of them at people.
Which flipping Bad Batch can't get enough of.
Yeah, that was fucking terrible. That was one of the things. It was like, dude, quit fucking. I understand that these guys they're trying to kill you, though. I understand they're your brothers, but shit, they're trying to kill you. Then you fight all of them in the first fucking episode. Shit, Jesus.
Seriously.
There are 4 types of shields in the Star Wars universe. What are their names? What types of shields do they have?
Shields?
Yeah.
Captain America's shield. A Viking
No, not that.
shield.
Not,
shield
not
wall.
like shields around the fucking ships or planets or
Shocking.
not fucking like fucking regular shields. Come on, team. Come on.
I could only name like 2, I think.
Okay, we got
fuck you,
deflector,
Chris.
ray,
Good job.
ion, and ballistic.
Are those all of them?
No.
I knew deflector and ray.
Yeah, deflector and ray are 2 of them. What's the other 2?
Condoms.
That's a good protection, but I don't think it's a shield that's gonna help you
You're
if
kinda
someone's
like
blasting at you or some shit.
They're kinda like gun condoms. You just put them on.
Ion shield, deflector shield. Yeah, we got deflector and ray.
Planet
Ion
shield.
is not a shield. Ion
Planet
is a
shield.
type of shield. I mean, there's 4 types of shields. Ion it fits in one of those types. So it's not the actual answer. Okay,
Planet
I'm
shield?
gonna give it to y'all. You got deflector, plasma, ray, and particle.
Plasma.
Ion falls in particle. I know
Uh,
I had to look it up because I thought ion was in there too, but it's actually
no,
part of
because
the particle.
ion is a particle. You're right. An ion is a particle.
I had to look it up because I didn't know. I was like, dude, there's supposed to be ion in there. I heard him say ion a whole bunch of times. And no, it's part of that's ion shields are a particle shield. I was like, yeah, let's fuck that. Motherfucking ion should be the right answer. You don't hear him say particle, you hear him say ion, but it's particle shield. And that's the 10 answers, the 10 questions of the fucking Star Wars Impossible that wasn't so impossible
again.
quiz. Because I didn't
again.
make them completely impossible. It
I
fucking
know.
sucks when nobody gets none of the answers right ever. I'd be like,
know.
fuck, man, I made these motherfuckers too hard. Well, I couldn't even. When are you gonna do some fucking quiz questions? Jesus Christ,
I'll
man.
do
I'm
some.
fucking tired. Do some,
right.
man. Fuck, I'm
I'll
tired
do
of
some.
doing all of them.
I'll do this Saturday. All
You'll
right?
do this Saturday? All right. You
Yes.
have time? Are you gonna have time to do it?
Yeah. I got you.
Okay. Yeah. And you do it, cause.
All right.
And
I'll
I
set a
think that
reminder.
is about it for today's episode. Glad.
Time to
been
go watch
longer,
some
but there
college
was no
football.
There was no fucking news. Everything's about Ahsoka. Like, dude, we already know. We just watched it. We already know. We don't need to hear what the actor said, and we don't need to know. Like, I would listen to if it was Dave said something, but Dave ain't even say nothing. It's like the actors are fucking doing the interviews. Like, well, we know that.
The next
I tried to
episode
get 'em
comes
on-
out on Tuesday again, yeah?
Does the next episode come out on Tuesday?
I don't know. Or is it
I
on
don't think
Wednesday?
so.
I hope it's on Tuesday because Wednesday is going to be awful hard to watch.
Get up early. Don't tell me that shit.
Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday. Let's go.
It's Tuesday again?
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious? That's fucking gay. Hey, do y'all know something? I figured out a way that we could all watch it together if we wanted to.
What?
We could watch it. We could all watch it at the same time.
On the podcast?
Yeah, on the podcast. We just can't do it on fucking YouTube. We'll get kicked off.
Oh, yeah.
But we could screen share the fucking episode on Disney Plus. I figured out how to get it to work. We could watch it.
Really?
Maybe after the season, we'll watch it. We'll have like a fucking watch party and just watch all the fucking episodes together.
That's a lot of episodes.
Y'all think that that's cool? I mean, fuck, we can do it different days. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Watch a
That's true.
fucking episode a day or some shit or fucking some. We can do that shit. Yeah. Are you sure that motherfucker comes out on fucking Tuesday? What the fuck is wrong with them? Like, why are they doing that?
I don't know.
Like, cause that sucks. Cause we don't do the show until Wednesday. Cause the fucker don't come on till fucking 9 o'clock here, or 8 o'clock here. I think it's 8 o'clock. It comes on 6 o'clock your time. Is it the same times?
I think so, but I don't know.
Oh fuck! Here, let me look this shit up. I'm looking it up on fucking on Disney Plus right now. Let me double check this. What do you mean? That motherfucker ain't wrong. I've had the same password the whole damn time. Select, let's see, suggested extras, details. Why isn't it telling us when the next
Every
fucking-
Tuesday. Yeah, every Tuesday.
New part every Tuesday. Why did they change it to fucking Tuesday?
I don't know. It's better than Wednesday because I can watch it Tuesday night.
Yeah, but then fucking everybody else has already came out with a podcast talking about it before we do. I'll be done watched 9 podcasts, 9 YouTube videos about it by the time. No, I won't. It just sucks because everybody puts shit out all day Wednesday on fucking on social media, and then you get fucking like. Even though I watched it, it's like fuck. I don't want to hear people's opinions. I want to have my own opinion.
I had my opinion pretty quick.
Chris says just stream on Kick. What the hell is that?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of Kick either. What the fuck is Kick?
I've heard of KIK, but not KICK.
Hey Chris, explain what that shit is. So I know. I'm old. I'm lost. I don't know what the fuck it is. They come out with new shit every 15 seconds.
Seriously, bro. Dude, this year, bro, like AI must be a problem because all my teachers were flipping out about it this semester.
Yeah, it's like Twitch, but a new streaming platform.
Platform.
Oh, Kick. Oh yeah, I heard of that. I thought you was talking about like a streaming fucking service, like a fucking like Disney Plus or Hulu or some shit. Okay. I'm like, I've heard of that Kick, but I haven't looked into it yet. Shit, we could just stream it on fucking on the damn thing. We ain't gotta worry about shit. Cause we can stream it. I can stream it right to the fucking StreamYard. We could do it like that and just stream it and do the fucking show live on that motherfucker.
That's true.
But then
Tuesday night.
No, I'm not doing it Tuesday night. Fuck, the motherfucker don't come on till 8 o'clock by the time it goes off. Well, this one's only supposed to be like 36 minutes though, I think.
Really?
It's supposed to be shorter, yeah. I thought I seen somewhere that they said it was going to be that this episode was going to be shorter.
Hopefully it's good. I'm fingers crossed.
Shit.
That said, I think
It's
that's
still
it.
better than fucking Kenobi and fucking Boba Fett right now. So, you know,
Yeah, but it doesn't
better
take
than
a
them
whole
two.
lot for that.
Yeah,
It's not take a whole lot for that.
all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We will see you guys on Wednesday.
Wow,
Chris, I hate that shit though, man. I want to watch it with people. I want everybody to see the shit at, like, cause man, I'm trying to fucking set up the timer and all that fucking weird shit. Like, I've tried to watch stuff with him and like, and I don't know how them other people be doing that shit because I don't know how they don't get kicked off. Well, probably because they have the shit popping in and on and off. They click it on and off a whole bunch like every fucking 10 seconds. But like, I don't know. I just don't like that shit, man. It's like, dude, I want to watch the motherfucker. I want everybody to be looking at the screen at the same time, seeing the same thing at the same moment. If one person, if you're 1 second off, then the shit is all weird and like, dude, it's just really fucking hard to get that shit set up right. I don't know. He's been doing it for a long time, so he's probably way better at getting it all set up right. But I'm not mechanically or computerly inclined to figure out somebody else to fucking do that shit for us. Like, hey man, set the shit up. Pay somebody to do that shit. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see you guys Wednesday. And we will be here on Wednesday and we will set everything up and we will talk about some Ahsoka. So we will see you guys then. Peace, stay outrageous, and may the force be with you always.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by PicFilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.